Beyond business, a servant leader at heart, active mentor through Corpus for Christ and direct the Coro Salesiano Choir at Don Bosco Santa Rosa. Punches of AI and Bloodstain channel creativity into indie music and compose faith-inspired acoustic storytelling. Galing na. To bridge technology, business, and purpose, driving with integrity and relentless focus on impact. So, brothers and sisters, let us welcome Brother Kokoy Clarabal.
Before we start, can you raise your... Pasensya na po, meron akong stiff neck. Can you raise your hand if you are running your own business? Very good. Next question. Can you raise your hand if you are the only one running your business, meaning solopreneur ka? Meron din. Okay, you're in the right room. Okay, so good morning po sa inyong lahat. It's a blessing to be here dito sa Ninth Family and Life Conference. Na-introduce na po kung sino ako. Ang topic po natin today is we'll explore how families and founders can click with technology and connect with purpose. Yun pong ibig natin sabihin dito eh. Click with technology and connect with purpose. Because the future belongs to those who can merge yung faith natin, family, and forward thinking. So, when you talk about, I'll give you some numbers. Don't worry, we'll share this. Ibibigay sa organizer. Baka malamang ipopost din to sa website ng even ng mga communities. Family enterprises today is the backbone of the Philippine economy. And not just in the Philippines. 65% of companies in Southeast Asia are family-owned. Globally, they outperform non-family firms by 5% a year. If you think about yung mga very successful families like yung mga Ayala, mga C, mga Aboitis, mga Yuchenko, itong names na to remind us that trust and legacy still matter. But the same qualities that made them strong can also make them resistant to change. By the way, I'm gonna talk straight dun sa deck. Then we have enough time for Q&A kasi we have until, I think, 12, no? So, you reserve your questions. We'll go to that. We have time for that. Now, the businesses that have long-term vision and resilience succeed because of precisely that. Remember during the pandemic, many corporations stumbled, di ba? Pero maraming family companies stepped up. May tiwala pa rin. But now that we're moving into the digital economy, trust must now be supported by systems, not just your surnames. Because trust without structure is parang Wi-Fi yan na walang password eh. Mag-work yan until someone misuses the Wi-Fi and brings it all down. Now, what do I mean? The critical vulnerability. Many family businesses hesitate to disrupt what is working. Why fix if it isn't broken? We all hear that, di ba? Kayo mga bro, mga sis, di ba? In today's world, not changing is the surest way to be left behind. So while we delay decisions, yung competitors nyo are automating, analyzing, and accelerating. Now, in the Philippines, as you could see here, ang good news is SMEs like you are growing fast. 77% reported growth in 2024, and almost 90% are expected to expand in 2025. Pero if you look at yung ASEAN market, yung neighbors natin, we're left behind in digital adoption. Only 13% of Filipino companies seek IT advice, meaning they know they need help but they don't ask for help. In Asia Pacific, 28% of companies, they ask for help. And therefore, nagta-transition nila yung kanilang negosyo into the next phase. We have the talent, meron tayong market, may energy tayo, but we have to have a mindset shift. So yung being digital is not just for big companies. In fact, it is actually more relevant for the smaller companies to be able to compete. Now, let's look at an example in terms of cash. I think many of you still operate in cash. 78% of Philippine businesses receive half their sales ganito. Even if may GCash na, marami pa rin nagka-cash. And that is slowing the business down. What do I mean? When you pay in cash, actually, wala kang data. You lose data. If you don't have data, you can't manage professionally. When you go digital, you gain transparency, speed, and profitability. Therefore, yung connectivity today, if you are not yet connected, you will be left behind. There's also the issue of governance. In most Filipino family businesses, yung trust is personal, di ba? So, tiwala na lang tayo. Kilala ko yan. Let's say may bumibili, di ba? O sige, lista mo na lang yan. Or whatever it is. But without formal procedures, we expose ourselves to fraud, favoritism, and hidden losses. Professional systems like digital audits, dashboards, and compliance tools, they actually don't replace trust, they protect it. Remember that integrity thrives when accountability is visible. Therefore, you need to digitalize. Yung mga anak natin or yung iba sa inyo kung may apo na kayo, they will not stay in a business that feels stuck in the old world. Right? Gusto nila may clarity, gusto nila may transparency and innovation. How do you do that? You use digital tools. Kasi they make your legacy business attractive. They let us document yung decisions, formalize the knowledge, and they also show how professional yung business mo. So that yung next generation that will follow the business will say, I want to continue this business. Right? So, digital governance for transparency. When we digitalize governance, we actually remove temptation. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Temptation to manipulate numbers, temptation to hide certain deals, because every transaction is logged, visible, and ethical. And in ethics, as we will see next, ethics is not a cost. In fact, you should use ethics as a competitive advantage. Why is that? The ethical imperative is this. In today's world, the main consumers that we're serving are actually the Gen Z. Raise your hand if you're a Gen Z. Don't be afraid. Sige, raise your hand. Okay, we have 2. Raise your hand if you're a Gen X. Sige, a little. Raise your hand if you're na-miss ako, millennial. Okay, meron din, millennial. Gen X ka eh. Di ba? Millennial ka, okay. Raise your hand if you're a baby boomer. Yan, okay lang po yan. Don't worry. Mamaya makikita nyo sa presentation ko. Kahit saan generation ka, you can use all these AI tools to build and start new businesses. My point is, ang Gen Zs today, which is really the new consumers, they want to buy from purpose-driven companies. That's a proven fact. 80% say they'll pay more if it's an ethically built product. So when we practice integrity, we don't just please our Lord, we also attract customers and investors. So it's not optional to be ethical. It is actually an engine for long-term success. So, but let's be honest. If you're a family business, and let's say your family business is getting bigger, you will have power struggles. Sibling rivalries, generational gaps, maririnig mo na, ako dapat ang susunod. How do you fix it? So digital systems bring order to the chaos. Why? Because they ensure that access, accountability, and auditability is there. They turn emotion into a process and process into progress. So therefore, we're able to protect both our business and our relationships. Kasi yung digital platform is the equalizer. Magkaano niyan, ko-content yan because that is neutral. For example, financial transparency tools, di ba? Today, when you talk about governance, we don't mean expensive systems. If you're a local SME, you probably heard of Taxumo or OneTax. If not, check those platforms because they automate tax filing and BIR reports. You don't have to do things manually. Automated yan. Konektado yan sa BIR system. Xero, QuickBooks, obviously, if you need some accounting dashboards, Q&E, AutoCount, BIR ready lahat yan. So when we digitalize finance, we just don't track pesos, we build trust with our employees, customers, and God himself. And then, when you formalize succession planning and decision making, every business faces question that who takes over. You don't have to overthink. As long as the business is fully documented, codify your knowledge, structure, and communication, delegate through systems. Maraming systems na ginagamit ngayon. Slack, Connect, Google Chat. All of this can bring clarity and trust and document it so that when the next generation comes in, they don't invent from scratch kasi documented. That's how you would pass the baton if the business is fully documented and everything is in order. And that means being digital. So the SME Digital Kit. In e-commerce, the exciting part is if you're a small business, you can easily go digital and scale fast. If you're a small, let's say, you produce some goods, you can share, alam naman natin to, you could use Shopee, TikTok, Lazada, 25 million potential buyers. If you want to reach the international market, meron kang magandang craft, Etsy is a very good market to use to sell products. So yung digital commerce is no longer optional. And for Filipino entrepreneurs like us, it's a great equalizer where creativity beats capital. I was actually looking at, segue lang, I was looking at some examples of yung mga successful businesses. You probably know, or if you do not, if you have, let's say, a script, or let's say you're a writer, you wanna sell books, you can actually use that material and distribute it globally without even having to print it. Kasi Amazon provides physical printing of your material when somebody orders the book on demand. If you're good at design, you can use Etsy to build t-shirt designs. You don't have to print anything. Pag may nag-order ng design mo, it will be sent real time to be printed on a shirt and then dadalhin dun sa customer. If you're into models, you're doing some, let's say, model trucks, model anything na 3D. You have your good design, you can also publish in Etsy. Etsy will now connect to a 3D printing service. Pag may umorder, it will be printed on demand. Ibig sabihin, you don't need the infrastructure. You just need this. And later on, when we go to AI stuff, I'll go deeper into the sort of applications that you can do from physical products, you can do it in digital. The payment infrastructure, everybody use GCash, Maya, send it. Importante yan. As long as you could use digital payments for your business, try to move people more digital because the key thing dito is it is able to log and be transparent. Yun ang point nun eh. Pag digital ang payment model mo, you can track things versus cash. Sa cash you can track but it will be difficult. Mamano-manohin mo. How you talk to your employees. CRM, you've heard about that term, di ba? Customer Relationship Management. Marami na rin tools dyan. Slack, WhatsApp, Google Chat, Zoho, HubSpot. These are not expensive tools, ha? It's actually very affordable. So, the key lesson, if you want to grow, you have to fix internal systems, communication, CRM first before you can do external. If you don't communicate well within your, let's say, meron kang salesperson, meron kang delivery guy, meron kang ano, if that is not fixed, you cannot really scale outside. No marketing engagement or ano can help you. You have to fix things first inside. Now, so AI has been the main topic for today. We'll shift now into more of the AI stuff. If you have an AI chatbot, and it's not difficult to build one or to use an existing one, 80% of your inquiries can be handled by a chatbot, freeing you a lot of time if you're a founder. If you're a salesperson, if you use AI, you can go up to 150% productivity gain. The important thing to note dito is AI does not replace people. It actually helps them increase their potential. Okay? Kasi no one can replace a person, but you can scale that person 10 times. Now, sa mga solopreneur dito, and this is really the best time to be a solopreneur, because a one business person who uses AI can multiply their output. Tandaan nyo, if you don't replace yourself with AI agents, someone else will replace you. So today is the best time to build an AI-driven business. You don't even need to know how to code. Because this is what we call yung zero excuse economy. Most AI tools are free to start. You can build something. You can use it. Kailangan mo lang ng idea. And number two, you need to act on that idea. Okay? So I'm not, these are really real things. Because I know because I do this. Even if nakita nyo akong in-explain na nasa Globe ako, every day, siguro I spend at least 2 hours on AI. Doing things, building things. And it's not difficult to do it. Why? In the old economy, yung income mo meant it is based on the hours that you bring into the office. Hindi na ganyan ngayon. In the AI world, it's the output. So, if you use AI, you can literally multiply yourself 10 times. Because you have the AI working for you 24/7, doing the things that you need to do for it. How do you communicate? Yun ang question. How do you become effective in AI? You need to learn prompt engineering. It's not difficult to understand. Okay? Prompt engineering, as you could see dito, is like talking to a trusted assistant. When you use ChatGPT or kung ano man yung ginagamit mo, Gemini, kung ano-ano man, usually kinakausap mo lang siya, di ba? Parang whatever, di ba? Parang wala kang structure. If you put a little bit of structure, yung AI mo will deliver way better results. Anong structure ng prompt engineering? 4 steps lang eh. Number 1, define the role. You have to tell the AI, sino ka? You have to tell him para lalagay niya yung kanyang hat kung ano siya. Then you have to provide the data. Bigyan mo siya ng information na gusto mo. Then you ask what you need. And then number 4, sabihin mo sa kanya, ganito mo pakita sa akin yung output. Simple 4 steps but very powerful. Those of you in the technical world, my wife nandun sa likod, shout out, nandun siya sa pinakalikod, ayaw niyang magpakita, pero siya yung nandun sa likod. Programmer din yan, back in the 90s, 2000s. Yung AI prompt engineering ngayon is like programming back in the 90s and 2000. You have to master it if you want to be successful. Ang maganda rito is you don't need to be technical. Ano sabi ko kanina? You just need an idea and you need to act on it. As long as kaya mong i-communicate dun sa AI yung gusto mo, it will do the heavy lifting. So, paano ka magsa-start? Okay? If you're in marketing, you can use AI for marketing. Kung yan ang ginagawa mo ngayon. If you're in whether doing videos, if you're doing some coding software, if you're doing writing some articles, whatever you're doing today, think of the things that you can do to offload yourself, focus on the thinking, and let the hard part, the AI, do it for you. You don't need to be a software programmer. You only need a creator's mindset. Yung AI will handle the technical job. Your job is the vision and the validation. Kumbaga, si AI yung gumagawa ng heavy lifting. Ikaw lahat ng nag-iisip. Ganun kasimple lang yon. Kahit baby boomer ka pa. Baby boomer, maraming experience, maraming ideas. Start with the things that na meron kang, alam mo, expert ka, tapos meron kang sinosolve na problem. Yun yun. You'll find a solution. Now, instead of just talking to the AI and asking it, okay, ano ba yung sagot dito, ganyan-ganyan, you can also use AI to actually build with you. Digital workers ang tawag dito. Imagine mo, isang company ka lang, ikaw yon, solopreneur ka, but you have like 100 digital workers. Merong nagka-qualify ng leads, merong nagpa-process ng invoice, merong nagma-manage ng email mo, merong nagsesend ng follow-up sa mga hindi pa nagbabayad. Actually, all those steps, you can use AI to be able to initiate it. Hindi sila napapagod, they don't ask for a raise, yung kanilang delivery is consistent, hindi sila nagsisick leave, hindi sila, alam mo yun, wala silang complaint. But you have to design it properly so that they would do it properly. Tayo sa, sanay tayo sa wala tayong masyadong resources eh. We, Filipinos, di ba? This is actually the best time to leverage AI. Now, you've been hearing about things like SaaS. SaaS. Ang ibig sabihin yan, software as a service. Ito yung mga applications dyan sa phone nyo. I'm sure meron kayong applications dyan. Facebook, kung ano-ano man, di ba? O kung anong maliliit na applications. Iba free, yung iba siguro nagbayad kayo. That's an application. Kaya to very popular kasi when you build it once, many people will use it. Let's say yung SaaS mo is earning 100 pesos per month. Minsan mo lang binild 100 pesos per month. So for one customer, meron kang 1,200 per month. For 100 customers, that's magkano? 120. Imagine mo, if you build the right app. Pero ang dapat mong titignan, and this is the technique, mataas ang profit margin, 97%. Kasi build once, deploy to many. But you need to focus on the painkiller, not the vitamin. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kung gagawa ka ng application, nakafocus ka dapat dun sa may sinosolve kang malaking problema ng tao. Hindi yung para pampaganda or kung, alam mo yun, parang vitamins. Hindi yung nice to have, but those that solve pain. So, next. App Store. Pumupunta kayo palagi sa Google Play or sa Play Store. Did you know that yung ChatGPT na ginagamit nyo today, meron na rin siyang sariling App Store. Yan na yung next wave of business. Yung application mo nandun sa loob ng AI store ng ChatGPT. This is very powerful as more people use AI. Imagine mo, nagtatanong ka doon sa ChatGPT, how can you help with my tax filing? Biglang lalabas doon sa ChatGPT, may recommendation with your application. Things like that. Wala pa yan ngayon. But because of AI, you can do it. I have a hack. If you use Safari today or Chrome, pag nagbabrowse ka, meron ngayong browser na built-in na yung AI. I don't know if you've heard about it. May mga options. Yung ginagamit ko ngayon is called Comet. I-check nyo yon by Perplexity. Pag ginagamit mo yun as a browser, let's say may binibili ka sa isang online store. Di ba typically pag bumibili ka doon, merong parang discount code? Pero wala kang discount code. Nakita mo may discount code, di ba? Pero wala kang discount code. Pag ginagamit pa yung AI browser, pwede mo sabihin doon sa AI browser, hanapan mo nga ako ng discount code for this. So habang nandun ka, maghahanap yan. Tapos magbibigay yan. Pag may nahanap yan, lalagay niya doon. Hindi mo na kailangan pahirapan yung sarili mo. Use the technology to help you be more efficient, to get you better deals, to help you build stuff. So, etong App Store na to, kung yung mga magagaling mag-isip dito, creative ideas, you can publish dyan. Yung market mo is global. Now, may mga examples na mga sample lang to. Meron ditong application about end-to-end AI tax automation. Meron ditong healthcare concierge. Kunyari, may patient ka, hanapin mo lahat ng coverage ng Blue Cross. Let's say, depende kung ano yung HMO mo, tutulungan kanyang hanapin. Meron kang tinatawag na AI Grandma, a digital lola giving old school wisdom and empathy online. A lot of these are isang tao lang yata gumawa nito or small teams lang. Wala tong malalaking company. Kasi these guys use yung tinatawag nating vibe coding. Narinig nyo na ba yan? Vibe coding? Vibe. Ibig sabihin, kahit hindi ka programmer, nakakagawa ka ng application using AI. These are examples. These are Filipino vibe-coded apps. So, yung nasa left, Deets.work. Sinong Gen Z dito? Alam niyo ibig sabihin ng Deets? Ha? Akala ko ba Gen Z kayo? Ibig sabihin ng Deets sa Gen Z speak, ano po kayo? Gen Z po ba kayo? Ano po kayo? Gen X? Gen X, nakuha niya. Deets ibig sabihin details. Ito, simpleng app lang to. Ang ginagawa lang nito, nagsascan ng business card, yung business card sinisave sa contact, tapos after na save sa contact, nag-reach out sa Viber, sa LinkedIn, or sa WhatsApp. It's a basic problem. Lalo na kung nasa sales ka, nasa convention ka, palipatan ng cards. Usually, ako ganyan ako 3 business cards. Oh. Kaya ginamit ko to actually. In one day, naubos ko yung 3 box ko. Pipicturean mo yung business card, tapos save, tapos pwede ka mag-introduce sa LinkedIn, WhatsApp, or Viber. Vibe-coded yan. Libre, walang bayad. Deets.work. Ito, side chat. Magandang example dito yung, di ba pag nagme-message ka today, whether gumamit ka ng Viber, WhatsApp, or Gmail, Messenger, binibigay mo either yung email mo o yung visible yung email mo o yung number mo. Itong side chat is for those situations na gusto mo makipag-communicate pero you want anonymity. For example, kunyari may community na gusto nila mag-communicate pa rin pero ayaw nilang ipakita yung sarili nila and may valid reasons doon. Kasi nga for certain personal reasons or protection. Etong side chat na to, pag pumunta ka dyan sa site.chatmemaybe.com, ang gagawin yan, mag-register ka sa Google pero hindi niya makikita yung Google mo. Mag-create ka ng username and you can chat with someone na nagpa-follow sa'yo. Without downloading an app, without registering, without anything. And then finally, itong isang app na to, very relevant naman yung Safe Ka Ba. app.safekaba.com. Sa dami ng calamities na nangyayari ngayon, ang ginagawa niya is chine-check niya earthquakes. Meron ka bang earthquake sa area mo o wala? Pero ang pinakamaganda is merong groups na ikita niyo sa baba, groups. Yung groups na yan, pag clinic mo, you can create your family group so that pag may calamity, pwede mo i-mark yung sarili mo ng safe or not safe. At least alam mo safe ba yung mga pamilya ko, yung ano ko. So, some examples, pag titignan mo, parang very basic, ano? Yes, pero walang available tool today. At least walang available na libre. Yung some you have to buy. It just shows how AI can easily get you to a point where pag may idea ka, kaya mo siyang dalhin into something na pwedeng usable for people. Sa marketing, malaking bagay din to. Yung mga marketers dito, gagawa ka ng ad, kailangan mong i-iterate. Ang hirap nga nun, magastos. Kailangan mong mag-shoot. Dito, you can create an ad. You can translate in 32 languages. You can create versions of the ad multiple times, 100 times, and itetest mo sa market. Those are all AI-driven. You don't have to spend. Voice agents. Sino dito ang merong phone number sa business nila na pwede silang tawagan? Raise your hand. Meron ba kayong namimiss na call? Paano yung ginagawa pag na-miss nyo yung call nyo? Follow. Pero nakikita nyo. Kasi mobile, di ba? Pero by the time na tinawagan nyo, baka nagtanong na siya sa iba. Oh, wala na. Di ba? So, i-compute mo. Every missed call mo, let's say ang missed business mo, 1,000. Let's say sa isang araw, meron kang 4 na missed call. So, 4,000 na yon per day. And so on and so forth, di ba? Pwede mong ikabit yung voice agent actually na laging may sumasagot at kumukuha ng details ng order. And it could be whether high volume, restaurant, salon, high ticket, car dealership, or even executive automation. Ibig sabihin yung merong may sumasagot para sa iyo parang executive secretary. Meron ako nakitang application nito, baliktad naman, tumatawag yung agent palabas. Ang ginagawa niya is tumatawad siya ng mga Rolex sa US to, no? So baka hindi dito. Ang ginagawa niya, tumatawag lang siya sa mga nagbebenta ng Rolex tapos tinatawaran niya for the same model. Pero pagkausap, parang tao. And then nire-record niya. Tapos nakikita niya doon, sa lahat ng 100 na may Rolex dito, itong offering nila na presyo na pumapayag silang ibenta. Tapos nakikita nila na, ito, pwede kong bilhin ng ganitong amount at tapos dito pwede kong ibenta. May arbitrage opportunity. Wala siyang ginagawa. Yung AI yung gumagawa lahat, nakikita na lang niya yung report. And then, in summary talaga, pag titignan mo, every one of us dito, kahit anong generation ka, may access ka 100% to AI. Zero barrier to entry. Basta meron kang laptop or meron kang phone. May internet connectivity ka. Most of the AI are free. You don't need to code. Ang kailangan mo lang, again, is idea and act. Now, let's go deeper. Because technology without purpose is just noise. Kailangan i-balance natin yung profit with purpose, efficiency with ethics, and data with discernment. So kung ang legacy mo today means sustainability, kailangan yung negosyo mo has to manage both environmental, social, and spiritual. Kasi yan yung tinatawag nating stewardship, di ba? Where ang purpose ng business natin hindi lang income, but also to create an impact that outlives us. Marami na ring digital tools that actually help you in sustainability. So for example, mga example na yan, Greenly, Envify, mga lang to, cloud platform to, pwede ka mag-subscribe. It will help you track yung carbon footprint mo if you're in a business that's producing a lot of carbon. DTI actually last year had a Spark program. I don't know if some of you participated doon. Yung Spark program helps MSMEs in their sustainability goals. I think at the end of the day, iisipin mo pa rin as you run a business, are my workers growing as a person? Are we blessing our community? And are we honoring God through our business? I think that's when sustainability becomes stewardship. Okay, and so, ito na yung ating in conclusion. We end up where we all started, ang sabi natin kanina, family and faith. And we end up with family and faith. So whether your company is very big, multi-generational, or maybe it's a small company, solo founder, yung mission is the same. Diba? You have to click and embrace technology with courage. You have to connect and build relationships rooted in trust. And then dagdagan natin, you have to act. Act as faithful stewards of God's gifts. Brothers and sisters, we were placed by our Lord today in this time of AI. We're actually very blessed kasi yung generations before were hindi ganito. But this blessing has called us to build legacies that are digitally enabled. Gamitin natin tong tools na to in the mission. Enterprises that live families, communities, and the nation. So don't be just consumers of the technology. Use it to create with purpose. Kasi when faith meets innovation and when family meets vision, when trust meets technology, that's when our country wins. So here is where I end. And I want to say thank you and may God bless all of you and your families and businesses and your mission. And I think we have a lot of, we have about 20 minutes. We can do some Q&A kung may mga tanong kayo about some of the stuff that we talked about. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much po. Just like what our speaker said, we have a lot of time. So if you want to ask question, approach lang po dito or you can write it down in your, meron po kayong mga notebooks yan. Pilas lang po ng konti, tapos pakibigay po kay ma'am.
Digital.
Okay, in our digital world today, most companies, especially family-owned company, are subject to scammers, even individual, right? So how do you contain or what will be your suggestion? Like for example, in us, we're going to start up this kind of business. So how do we prevent those scammers and what are the ways or things to do in order to prevent it?
Yeah, sister, so actually some of the main prevention ng scam are actually very basic, diba? So it doesn't even need AI, although I can tell you na yung scammers are using AI to scam. So they clone the voice of, let's say, kung sino man para tumawag to say kailangan ng pera, or they even create a video na AI generated na fake pero papadala nila, kala nila ikaw yon, di ba? Many things. So the way to handle that is actually very basic. So number one, always trust and verify, di ba? Sa lahat ng mga transactions, especially if it involves money. Number two, I think alam niyo naman to, di ba? Never click on any link na pinadala sa iyo unless you truly validate yung source nung link na yon. Kaya kami sa Globe, pag SMS makita mo wala ng link, pag may nakita kang nagpadala ng link sa iyo, tapos nakasulat Globe, scam yon. Now, tatanong mo sa akin, bakit meron dumating na Globe na SMS? Kasi these scammers actually use fake transmission and na parang pinapalabas sila galing sa Globe. So ang basic rule, pag may natanggap kang link, SMS or kahit anong message, huwag mo i-click yon. Kasi that is probably as phishing or smishing site. Very basic. Diba? Tapos yung number two, trust and verify. Other than that, of course, yung system mo, yung platforms mo, if you use the cloud, more or less protected yan eh. Diba? Na-mention kanina na part ako nung CCAP. Yung CCAP is actually the Contact Center Association of the Philippines. So part ako nung board ng CCAP. Meron kaming isang programa doon, yung tinatawag na One Trust Link. Pero sa contact center yan. But ibibigyan ko lang as an example. Doon kasi, pagka yung mga empleyado, pagka nakasubscribe ka doon, and may history yung empleyado na nagsascam, magkakaroon ng ano yon, ng signal. So, in the same way, kung mag-hire ka, di ba, dapat ginagawa mo rin yung background check. So, yeah, I think those are the main ones. Kasi yung mga tools naman today, secure naman yan eh. Unless, yun nga, may pinakiklik ka na dapat hindi mo kiniklik, or anything that says may free, kala mo nanalo ka or something, or mag-expire na yung points mo. Nothing is free. At hindi ka basta-basta mananalo kung ano-ano lang. Di ba? Scam na yun, diretso. Delete, block. Ganun lang gawin mo. And your life will be easier. Much simpler. Okay. Any questions pa po?
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask. Does this mean that Globe does not use any ad agency anymore nowadays?
No, we still do a lot of ad
You still
agency.
do?
But ang nangyayari ngayon is the ad side. I'm sure the ad agencies are using AI in how they iterate.
Strategize.
Yes, I think the strategy is still the person eh. Pero yung A and B testing, when you're doing ads and you want to do A and B testing, imagine mo if you do that manually, the cost and time. Now you can do A and B testing kahit 100 A and B in a day, matatapos yun eh. Makikita mo yung result eh. That's the that was I said earlier, di ba? The AI itself is not replacing the person. It's actually helping the person to be more parang super powerful.
Super power. Efficient.
Yeah,
Fast.
efficient,
Everything.
fast, and yung heavy lifting. Matutulog ka na, you can have it do its work. Di ba? Kaya nga ako I make it a point to spend every day, whether that's 1 or 2 hours, just testing new tools, doing some apps, kung ano-ano man, just because I know na yung skills mo is gonna improve. Number 2, you can actually fix and problems using applications or kung ano man, di ba? Just to lower down your cost, reach new customers, those kind of things. If you're into sales, yung lead generation, getting thousands of contacts para i-call out mo, ang dami na nga yung ways to actually to ask AI to help you look for the ideal buying customer mo. Or if you're into HR, ito maganda. If you use Comet, so yung sabi ko kanina, Comet by Perplexity, let's say naghahanap ka ng hire and you're using LinkedIn or Upwork or kung ano man. You go to the site using that AI browser. You can actually ask the AI browser, can you prioritize these applicants based on my priority needs? Number 1, must have worked in a telco company for the past 5 years, must have been in a position of a certain level, etc., etc. In the old way, ang gagawin mo, manually mo siyang isosort, di ba? Titignan mo ganyan, o susulat mo. Actually today, when you use the AI in the browser, at sabi mo go, kita mo yung browser mo, iti-take over niya, tapos nagsosort-sort na siya. So suddenly, you saved a day's work in just under 30 minutes. That's really the power, is giving more time to you to do other things, yung more important work. Any other questions?
Sir Kokoy, I was just wondering kung if you use the AI music generator for your music.
Okay, so good segue. Actually, if you mag-plug na rin lang ako, sinabi mo, di ba? So actually sa Spotify, you can search my music, Kokoy Claraval. May kita nyo ako doon. A lot of those songs are original, but I also do a lot of cover. I actually haven't used AI. The closest I've used AI for my own music was when I was trying to start a song with some lyrics. So sabi ko sa AI noon, can you help me craft? It's a Christmas song eh. So if you look at my Spotify, yung pangalan ng song is Heaven's Gift. That's a Christmas song I released last year. Yung lyrics nung nagsimula yun sa AI. Sabi ko, kailangan ko ng medyo ganitong tema. Pero actually, it was a starting point. I actually use it as base and then I wrote the lyrics na rin.
The instrumentals po.
Instrumental, no? Sa ngayon, in terms of what I publish, hindi. It's either meron akong banda or meron akong mga tools na ginagamit ko na hindi naman AI. But I can tell you, yung example ni kanina ni Father Joel, 'di ba? I've actually used AI music but not in yung mga nire-release ko as my own. So for example, I use when I try to listen to voices, when I try to extract instruments, let's say may piyesa kang gustong pag-aralan, wala ka nung actual piyesa, wala ka nung nung mismong
Kulang yung instruments,
kulang,
let's say.
pwede mong i-separate. Use AI to actually extract instruments, voices, para mas mapag-aralan mo. I use that a lot. I also, I haven't used it in jingles kasi hindi naman ako jingle writer. Mas mas nasa indie Christian ako. But I've known people who've used it. So, actually, it's not it's, ang ano lang dito is, I think if you look at material, sinasabi naman nila na generated by AI. In my other mga ginagawang videos na hindi related sa, like for example dito, like in other parts of what I do, I would use AI to just build short videos with music na whether AI generated or hindi. Ang importante doon is, alam nyo na AI, even the algorithms ng TikTok, Twitter, lahat yan, alam nila na AI. So hindi mo siya ma-monetize, hindi mo siya kasi alam nila na AI siya.
So you cannot monetize pag AI generated siya.
I think so. Kasi alam ng algorithm yon.
So even Spotify will not.
Oo, I think so. Actually, sa Spotify, kung narinig nyo there was a couple of months back, merong banda na sumikat. Mga over 100 million.
Dawn something.
Basta
Velvet Dawn po.
di ba? And they use totally AI band, AI music. I don't know if they get paid for that, pero I think at the end of the day, basta why do you use it, di ba? Yun yung so ako I use it for idea generation, di ba? In fact, even yung photos, yung kanina example ko kanina on t-shirts. Imagine mo, punta ka sa Etsy, magbenta ka ng t-shirt na $20. Di ba? Pero yung image mo actually, dati in the past, gagawa ka ng old, di ba, drawing mo siya, di ba? Di ba? Nakahanap ka ng design, tapos gusto mong i-modify ng sarili mong design. Usually, AI yung ginagamit doon eh. And then, tsaka mo siya ipiprint. Di ba? So, I think ang ano doon is, kung mag-AI ka, mas maganda, i-original AI design mo. Kumbaga parang isipin mo, rather than getting an actual copyright na tapos sasabihin mo, i-edit mo yan. Kasi yon parang, ang dating nun is parang plagiarize mo, di ba? Pero kung ikaw yung nag-isip ng idea and then sinabi mo kay AI, gawin mo nga ito, in a sense, original idea mo pa rin yun. Si AI lang yung gumawa. So, it's the same with music. So, sabi mo, AI, ito yung parang naisip kong style.
Or Sir Kokoy, let's say I only have a guitar and I input to the AI, gusto ko ng other instruments. I can't play any other instrument but the guitar. So I can input my own composition.
Pwede yan. Madami.
And then have it like a full orchestra background.
Not even AI, kahit hindi AI tools, there's a lot of music production software, which ako yung ginagamit ko. So, these are licensed commercial software where you can actually program it with your idea. Gusto ko may strings dito. Gusto ko merong 4-piece, may quartet ako dito sa part na to. So, for example, yung Again, if you're able to check yung Spotify ko, yung I did a cover of yung Eagles Wings, which is yung Catholic ano. And it actually maganda yung naging ano nun naging traction nun na ilagay yun sa Spotify na papuri playlist. Yes, yung Eagles Wings. Titignan mo yung intro nun, yung may quartet doon eh. Hindi totoong quartet yun ha. I use music production software and then pinogram ko na para quartet yung ano. Pero parang totoo talaga, titignan mo. Hindi pa AI yun ha, but it's production software. Which ang music business today is using that. Wala namang masama because technology kasi has moved on na. But I still do a lot of, meron pa rin ako mga old school na mga recording na ginagawa. Okay. Wala bang question about how to ano? Ano na ba? Meron pa. Marami pang time. Nagtataka lang ako ng question on
what are the risks of relying too heavily on digital systems in small family-run firms?
Okay, so I need to get more context.
What are the risks of relying too heavily on digital systems in small family-run firms or business?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more benefit than the risk. As I explained earlier, ang not using digital means you do everything manually. Ano example? Yung nasunog na building nung isang araw lang, di ba? 2 days ago. Di ba? Na walang man lang copy nung digital. Example yon. I think ang kailangan mo lang gawin sa pagiging digital is you have to just make sure, etong cloud platforms na to, yung established ones, they're very secure na yan mga yan. Used by many companies. Pero kung garbage in ka pa rin, garbage out pa rin lalabas doon. So you have to make sure na medyo malinis din yung i-input mong data para malinis yung magiging output. Pero if you can use accounting software, tax compliance software, you should use it kasi it makes your life easier. It gives a trail of all transactions. It's automated. It's fully integrated, di ba? Hindi ka nag-iimbento ng bago dito. In fact, medyo late ka na nga kung ngayon po lang gagawin. So, there's always risk in everything, di ba? Basta you make sure lang na what you put in is clean data para yung output is also clean output. Yun lang yun. Nothing really, Now, kung ikaw let's say sa family mo, meron kang magaling interesadong mag-vibe code, you can even ask your son or ito yung kailangan kong platform, ito yung ating negosyo, ito yung process from A to Z. Kwento mo yung process. You can use, sabi ko kanina, use AI to build. That's when you can build your own system. Which is not actually very difficult. As long as you have, kailangan meron kang alam mo yung expertise ng negosyo, process and all, then you have someone to listen and say, ito yung process ko, kailangan itong input ko, output ganito, then actually, you can build it if you want. Kung gusto mong mas may control ka, pwede rin yun. But you don't really have to do that kasi marami dyan medyo gawa na. Alam nyo ba yung application nito sa stage, yung nagsasabi ng time's up, yung may counter dyan, di ba? Napakasimple nun. Pero actually, that is earning thousands of dollars per month. People pay for that basic application. Diba? Ibig sabihin, may pain point kasi silang dinidetermine. So, ang point ko is, regardless kung saan kang negosyo, or gusto mo magsimula ng negosyo, find yung niche mo, kung saan ka magaling. Let's say hairdresser ka, or ano bang tawag ngayon? Is that the right term? Parang Gen X yun eh. Ano bang tawag doon sa mga nagugupit ngayon? Beautician? Stylist. Okay. Let's say stylist. Siyempre may step A to B silang ginagawa, di ba? Actually, you can create an app for stylists. Na alam mo yung pain point nila, di ba? So, ang point is, kailangan medyo alam mo yung area mo, alam mo yung pain point, and then alam mo yung gusto mong isolve, then doon ka magsimula mag-experiment. Because the tools today are available to use. And kung medyo nahihirapan ka, let's say baby boomer ka, o di kausapin mo yung anak mong Gen X, o yung anak mong whatever, millennial, to help you. Di ba? Kasi it's not actually difficult. Opo. Last na daw. Magti-12 na. Okay lang.
Okay.
I can
Sir,
extend.
isn't it that AI generates its data from all of us then? Is it true that everything we put on the internet or in the digital world is already everyone's property? There's no privacy in this digital world. Pag nag-email tayo, it's already out there. Pag nag-messenger tayo and we put our pictures on Facebook, it's already a property of everyone. We can never secure ourselves in this AI generation digital world.
A lot of yung platforms na sinabi niyo po, like yung mga Facebook, ganyan, hindi naman, medyo closed systems yan. Meaning yung data mo nasa Facebook. Hindi naman basta-basta nila yan nilalabas for general consumption. Unless magkaroon ng hack, magkaroon ng leak, then therefore, yes, diba, na-leak yung information mo. So, conscious ka rin, kung maggagamit ka ng AI, then wag mong bibigay yung personal information mo, diba? Use AI as a general tool. There's no reason naman to use it for your personal unless kinakailangan. If you're in a company, like kami sa Globe, gumagamit kami ng AI, yung AI na ginagamit namin is enterprise version. Meaning, yung data na binibigay namin, which is confidential, it doesn't go out. It stays within our network. Kasi enterprise version yon, naka-firewall yon, hindi lalabas yon. So, yung mga companies that use AI for their operation, and then they use proprietary data, usually they get an enterprise version. Mas mahal yon. Pero regular consumers like us, where we use general AI, once nagbigay kasi sa AI ng data, then you're contributing doon sa knowledge niya. So, there's no reason naman to give PII info, di ba? Hindi naman niya kailangan yan. Ang kailangan niya is kung ano man yung mga problems that you're trying to solve, di ba? You don't need to give information that's personal. Okay po.
Follow up to her question kasi parang our privacy is already compromised with this technology. Kasi 2 days ago, isip lang to ha. Iniisip ko kasi may nag-invite sa akin maging ninang sa kasal. Iniisip ko, bibili ako ng damit. Ano kayang maganda? Isip lang, biglang lumabas yung mga damit. Mga gown. So, sabi ko, anak, ano nangyayari sa mundo? Nag-iisip pa lang ako. Sabi nung anak ko, Mami, ganyan na talaga. Kasi baka naman nakatanggap ka ng invitation sa messenger. So, alam na nung isasagot. So, yun ang tama.
No, that's true. It's more of yung second case. It's more of, kasi yung algorithm, lahat ng mga platforms na ginagamit nyo, like Messenger, ganyan, they use AI a lot. So, tinitignan niya, kung may ganun kang invitation, malamang alam niya na kailangan siguro interesado sa wedding stuff. Yun yun. Hindi dahil na-anticipate ka niya. Nalaman lang niya based on ano yung messages.
So, just ito na lang
May question.
pinakalas na lang po.
Okay lang po. Sige.
Sorry po.
Kahit mag-extend tayo.
Wala po akong alam sa AI. May business po kami, 3. Paano po akong pupunta sa AI? Through cellphone? Or ano? Saan po ako pupunta? Ibig sabihin, Google or ano?
Okay. Ano po muna yung negosyo nyo?
Water station, parlor, potato corner.
So mga retail.
Apo.
Diba? And then, typical problem mo is...
Paano ako pupunta sa AI
Okay.
muna?
Kasi ganito po yan. Ang sagot po dun sa tanong nyo is, kailangan muna, pag tinignan nyo yung negosyo nyo, ano ba yung main business pain point na gusto mong i-tackle? Kasi, ang mga negosyong ganyan, maraming mga issue, di ba? Pwedeng inventory, delivery, supply chain, sales, I'm not sure kung may sales issue ka, siguro pinupuntahan ka naman, baka walang issue, di ba? Pipili po muna kayo ng isang area na gusto mong isolve. Once alam niyo po yung business problem na gusto nyong isolve, doon pa lang kayo pumunta and you can actually, look, you can use ChatGPT or Gemini. Ano sabi ko kanina, yung sinabi ko kaninang prompt engineering, di ba? 4 steps. Sabihin mo sa AI, sino ka? So sabihin mo sa AI ganito, you are a store manager of a water refilling station. Pero mo sabihin sa kanya yun yung kanyang gagamitin na, okay, store manager ako ng water refilling station. Ang sasagot ko dito, dapat related dyan. Di ba? Number 2, sasabihin mo sa kanya, then sasabihin mo sa kanya, find me the main areas where pwede mo na ikwento ano yung problema mo eh. Then, ano sabi, number 2. And then number 4, sabi mo, present to me the options. Ang ilalabas po dyan sa iyo is, it doesn't even have to be an AI solution. It doesn't have to be an application. It will actually show you. Another way, kunyari, gusto mo maintindihan yung business performance, naghahanap ka ng parang areas for optimization. You can actually get your P&L or yung cash flow statement mo. Hindi naman confidential yan kasi maliliit lang naman tayo, di ba? Pwede mo technically i-upload yun sa sa ChatGPT or Gemini. And then sasabihin mo sa kanya, hanapin mo nga, find me areas where I can improve my cash flow operation. Magiging financial analyst mo, tatabihin, teka, parang ang gastos mo ganito. So, kaya nga sinasabi ko po, bro, is kailangan alamin mo, anong ba may gusto mong i-fix dun sa problem. From there, you can start using the AI tool just to ask it, ano yung areas na you can improve. If you can give it problems, pwede rin para mas alam na niya, di ba? And then, after ng output nun, wala ka pa sa solution eh. Then, you can use AI to help you build solutions. For example, yung voice agent. Pwede mo sabihin, I am a ganito, I need to make sure I capture all of the calls in my water refilling station. Design me a voice agent that's live 24/7. You will capture the name, etc., ganyan, yan. And you will put it in a Google Sheet so that later on I can review and I can make follow-up calls. That's fixing the problem of... So, it depends on which area. Mga example lang. Ayan, so but you can reach, so ano na lang, pinakamadali, just sa LinkedIn, Kokoy Clarval. Just isa lang naman ang Kokoy Clarval sa LinkedIn. Sa Facebook, isa lang din po ang Kokoy Clarval. Hanapin, page po yun sa Facebook, sa LinkedIn, account ko yun. Yeah, pretty much those two are the most ones. Medyo pag minsan late ako magsumagot, ibig sabihin busy. Hindi ko pa ginamit yung aking voice, yung EA agent ko. Pero gagawa ako para wala akong namimiss na mga So basically that's it. So I'll try to respond as soon as possible. So maraming po salamat. Very good questions. And I really hope, lalo na yung mga younger generation, but even if sabi ko kahit hindi ka young generation, start learning because it's not difficult. Sabi ko nga sa wife ko, kasi programmer siya nung back in the 1990s, nagko-code din ako pero hindi ko na ginawa siya after that because of my work. Now, I'm back to doing vibe coding. Just doing some apps, yung mga interesting sa akin na tingin ko may sinosolve na problem. If you build 50 apps, and then may isa dong sumikat, di ba? Not bad. And the cost to build an app is almost zero. Ang importante lang, idea, and you act. Because the tools are available. Okay? Maraming pong salamat.